Morty's Diner. Hot coffee without the toxic sludge.
Good evening. Let's do that one more time.
Morty's Diner. Hot coffee without the toxic sludge.
Hello. Hello. I should put a picture up. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Morty's Diner. Morty's feeling terrible today. Let's put some music on in the background. That might be nice. There we go. Yeah, hey everybody. So I've got some things to talk about today. But nothing important. Today's show is entitled Thursday Evening Nothing Show. And egg salad. I'll talk about egg salad. All right, 4 people here so far. Thank you for checking out the show. And now I'm going to give myself a like, a thumbs up. That's 1. And if anybody would like to help Morty, please consider a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Thank you. So I got some good stories. I went to the doctor yesterday for, and the assistant, gave me that cognitive test when she was, doing her thing before the doctor comes in. She gave me 3 words, and about 10 minutes later, she said, "Okay, can you tell me those 3 words?" And I just looked at her and went, "Huh?" Said, "I gave you 3 words when I met you, when I came in the room. And so can you tell me back those 3 words?" And I just looked at her and went, "Huh? What?" And that was the end of the cognitive test. Yeah, no joke. And I have an iodine story, but I'll hold on till a little later because it's a riveting story about iodine as an antiseptic. So let's get started. Welcome to the viewers. These 2 pictures represent Morty's Diner viewers. Hello, folks. This guy reminds me of one person in particular out there. And this guy reminds me of one person in particular out there. But these 2 pictures apply to dozens of the viewers out there. Yes, the truth lives. Let me try that again. The truth lives at Morty's Diner. Egg salad. Now, I posted up on my YouTube page under posts. I have 2 surveys up about egg salad. Now, the first one, as you can see, says this was 10 hours ago. Cast your vote in the accompanying egg salad poll. Thanks. And here's a picture of a greasy egg salad sandwich. Too much paprika. I really get annoyed when I hear people say paprika. But, yeah, I mean, it's okay. So go to my posts page, if you would please, and cast your vote in the accompanying poll. So let's go to that poll. Look at the results right now. 10 hours ago, 8 votes so far. And the survey question is, how do you prefer your egg salad sandwich? Okay. Mixed with diced celery, 38%. Mixed with diced tomato, 38%. That's interesting. Mixed with diced pimento, 0. And mixed with blaster special sauce, holding firm at 25%. I thought that would be much higher, but, you know, that's the egg salad sandwich, Chicago style. You know, it's mixed with blaster special sauce. Anyway, so if you would be so kind to check out my posts page, and please cast a vote. How do you prefer your egg salad sandwich? I have 4 very good choices here. Okay, so thanks very much for that. 8 votes and 5 thumbs up. That doesn't sound right, but I guess. All right. Hey, we have some viewers now. All right. Good evening, Spring and Fialta. You need the celery to add the crispness. I think a real egg salad sandwich has finely chopped diced celery in it. I had an egg salad sandwich when I was about 10 or 12 years old. I was visiting my cousins in Kew Gardens, Queens. And we all went to a restaurant on Queens Boulevard. The cousins suggested it as a nice deli kind of place, very casual. And I remember I was probably 10 or 12, and I remember I ordered the egg salad sandwich. It was huge, New York deli style, and it had finely chopped celery in it. And I remember it half a century later. No joke. And it was stupendous. That's a true story. Spring, tomatoes might be good, but I've never seen it done. Maybe a slice of tomato between the bread and salad. That sounds good. Yeah, I'd like to add 1 or 2 tomato slices on an egg salad sandwich. Yeah, maybe 2 slices. Because, it's not essential, but an egg salad sandwich, for me, would have lettuce and tomato. If I were making it at home. I don't do the chopped celery thing, though that really is a really nice touch. But egg salad sandwich, a good quality mayonnaise, lettuce and tomato, your choice of bread. Hello, McLobster, channel member. I like a bit of Dijon up in the mixed dog. I'm not going to look down on that. I myself don't add mustard to egg salad, but it's like people who make homemade potato salad. A lot of people add some mustard as they're mixing it up. And so I can see that, McLobster, yeah. Max Carter wants the ooey gooey Chicago Blast sauce. Okay, very good. Got 1 vote for the Blast sauce, all right. How old was that sandwich? What, the one in the photo? Let's go back and take a look. This is some pretty grody, greasy sandwich, but I had to put up a picture. That's all. Yeah. Let's not focus on the quality of that picture. All right, it's just a picture. But a great egg salad sandwich. You could put it on a roll, rye bread, white bread, any kind of bread, bagel, muffin, anything. Oh, anything. It's. What am I doing with these pictures? Yeah, it's always good. I find that if you have a good mayo, you don't really have to add any salt or pepper. I don't add pepper, and if it's very dull, I'll add a very little bit of salt. But a good quality mayo would give it flavor, and I wouldn't need to add any salt. McLobster, a deli I frequented for years, always put a layer of very thin, crispy bacon in their egg salad sandos. Yeah, I mean, I can see that, bacon and eggs. Yeah, but I would prefer, and yeah, okay, but I would prefer not to have it that way. Campers, egg salad sandwich. Could never stomach that. It's something you ran from Forest Hills would choose. Hard pass. No, I remember I met my uncle and aunt, and my two cousins. I was probably 10 or 11. And I remember this, as a matter of fact, campers. The name of the place was Scotty's on Queens Boulevard. So this is over a half a century ago. And the egg salad sandwich had the, finely diced up celery in it. It was unbelievable. That's all I remember about that whole day. They said, "Hey, let's go out for someplace to eat," and they said, "Let's go to Scotty's." I don't know anything about that place. I don't know if it went out of business 50 years ago or if it's still around. I have no idea, but amazing. It was Forest Hills or Kew Gardens, the restaurant. I remember they lived in Kew Gardens. But, Guy Gadwa, good evening. What kind of sandwich would you make for Nicki Minaj if she walked in? I'd make her a Morty tube steak sandwich. I'd say, "Come in the back. I got a special sandwich for you." No, I'd say, "Hi, Nikki. What would you like? Anything off the menu? Our chef would be happy to prepare for you. As long as it doesn't involve spam or liverwurst, we can make it." Campers, a man will eat a hard-boiled egg with a bit of salt. Sure. Toast on the side. Well, that's good, too. Spring. Or he can spread the hard-boiled egg on the toast. Well, there's a lot you can do with an egg and a piece of bread. I mean. Right, okay, yeah. She's the new face of MAGA. Did you know? Yeah, I saw the video of her and Trump. And she's saying that she's the number one Trump fan and all that. I think that's fine, but what is she famous for? She's famous for her filthy, pornographic music videos and, quote, songs. So I don't find that to be, I mean, she has a tremendous audience, but I don't find that anyone to hold up and say, "Hey, look, Nicki Minaj, she's so fantastic. She supports Trump and MAGA." I mean, just look at her, the material, her work is just filth and porn. I mean, it is. I mean, but whatever. The evangelicals love Nikki now. Well, I doubt Donald Trump's ever seen any of her videos or listened to her music, quote music. He would just find it to be trash. Garbage, But he'd certainly welcome her as a supporter because she has tens of millions of young people in her fan base. You wouldn't eat her groceries, Mort? Well, I enjoy a nice leafy salad as much as the next guy. But I don't know. It depends how much whiskey I had. Egg salad for Nikki is just a regular Friday night. Right. I met Mariah Carey in the 90s, and she's from Long Island. And even though she's almost a billionaire, I think she would sit down and appreciate a nice egg salad sandwich at a New York deli. Cup of coffee, egg salad sandwich. Yeah, she could appreciate it. Yeah. Very attractive woman. This is early 90s. And these two emaciated heroin addict girls who were hanging out, I was hanging out with, they looked at her and they go, were you talking to Mariah Carey before? I said, yeah. She goes, she is so fat. Now, these girls probably weighed 90 pounds. You know, track lines on their arms, heroin addicts, emaciated, malnutrition, and they thought Mariah Carey looked like a fat pig. Yeah, pure Hollywood story there. I mean, it's just unbelievable. She didn't look fat at all. She looked very healthy and very attractive. The TP in TPUSA no longer stands for Turning Point. I get it. She could sit down on, right, okay. Heroin chic, exactly. They were making fun of this woman in a very, very healthy body, you know, and they thought, oh, she's so fat. Yeah, it was unbelievable. I didn't say anything because, you know, they're all, you know, stoned out on junk. Yeah, very nice woman. I don't care for her music at all, but yeah. She's a better role model than the Kim Kardashian porno slut, you know, with her sex tape and big fat ass, who does absolutely nothing for her celebrity. Mariah Carey worked for her celebrity, you know. Yeah, as a singer, she's worked very, very hard, you know, for her celebrity. Kim Kardashian just, you know, made a porno anal sex video and models naked showing her fat ass. I mean, that's all she has celebrity for. Prove me wrong. Show me if I'm wrong, okay? But it's true. I wouldn't feed Mariah an egg salad before business time. Really? Okay, yeah. Maybe she'd like an old-fashioned egg cream. Maybe. Okay, let's get back to the pictures. So that's the poll currently up on my page. If you'd like to cast your vote, how do you prefer your egg salad sandwich? Celery, tomato, pimento, or blast or special sauce? Cast your vote. You know, we'll keep the ballot open for about a week. 5 days, and then we'll total up. We'll see the totals. All right. Oh, by the way, I'll put the invite link up. But as this is a nothing show, I think we've just peeked out with the egg salad story. Don't have anything really else beyond that. Okay. Oh, I have the doctor story. I can talk about that. Blaine, on a completely different subject, do you own a portable emergency radio? Yes, I do. I'm looking to purchase one. So many choices. I bought it's inexpensive. It's it's very small. It comes in red, yellow, green, white. Okay. I think it was $39 or $29. It uses 2 or 4 AA batteries, I think. I haven't looked at it. I have it in one of the cabinets there, you know, just in case. It's a AM, FM, weather band, and what do you call it? And maybe a couple shortwave channels, you know, just, you know, in case the power's out. You know, World War, Battle of Portland. Yeah, I have a guest backstage. We'll bring him on in just 1 second. It's a Japanese name brand, but it's there are better ones. If you can go to $79, you can get a much nicer emergency battery-operated radio with a crank on it. You know, you can recharge your phone, and it has a flashlight on it too. And yeah, Hello, Spring and Fialta.
Hey Morty, how you doing?
Oh, doing good. How are you tonight?
Doing okay.
Yeah.
I actually like egg. I mean, I didn't when I was a kid. I didn't like egg salad sandwiches, but I've had a few really good ones. So
Do you remember any place where you had a good one?
yeah, Johnny Rockets had a really good egg
Oh,
salad
really?
sandwich. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. Yeah, because you think of them as burgers and stuff, but yeah, they had really good. You can add bacon or not. So sometimes if I hadn't had breakfast, I'd add bacon, but if it's for lunch, I just have the egg salad. So
Right, right, right. Yeah. Would you have it with bacon on an egg salad?
oh, it's perfect. It's just a good combination.
Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, it changes the whole taste if you put bacon on it, so I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, it's
Um,
not the same thing, obviously, but I've never thought about it. But just now, I'm thinking, what about a slice of ham? That would be something else
you
too.
could do that too. Yeah, that would work. Yeah. But I just want to, I mean, I agree, a slice of ham would be very tasty. But for myself, I just go with the egg salad, plain, lettuce, tomato. Do you put paprika on an egg salad sandwich?
I like pepper more than you do. I put pepper on everything. In fact, I if I see
Mm.
a if I see mashed potatoes or if I see a potato salad and it doesn't have pepper on it, it seems naked to me. Just seems
Is
wrong.
it black pepper, white pepper, rainbow colored pepper?
And just black pepper, just whatever
Is it
easy.
in a pepper mill or just a shaker?
I'm not a, I just, I had pepper mills and stuff, and yeah, it's kind of a little bit better, but I just want that little bit of burn. I'm not
Yeah,
really.
yeah, yeah. Because Trader Joe's has a good spice section, and they have a pepper in a pepper mill. I have that here, but I rarely use it.
They have these plastic bottles that
Hmm.
you can find pepper in, but they're like little pepper mills.
Yeah, yeah.
But a couple of times I had, and they break before the pepper comes out. So
Well, that's good. You're yank. Is it because you're so in a rush for the pepper you broke the thing, twisting it? Or?
I just you turn it the wrong way or something. You're going clockwise instead of counterclockwise, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
It goes break.
Well, I mean, it's a cheap pepper mill. It's just but
Exactly, it's all plastic. So.
yeah. Um, Gampers on the emergency. Do you have an emergency radio in your home, Spring?
I have one of those wind-up radios.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I got one of those because I don't know. It was either Rush Limbaugh or somebody was advertising
Yeah,
those.
he used to advertise one all the
I
time.
thought that sounds like a good idea, and I got one, and it works out.
Yeah, you can get a good one anywhere from 29 to 79. $79, you're gonna get flashlight. You can recharge your phone. It's got a good hand crank for power. You got some shortwave frequencies, AM, FM, National Weather Service. And, yeah, and Gampers, I would suggest anyone confused about what's happening in the USA to watch this. And remember, 100% Rotten Tomato rating. Watch what?
So Gampers is there anything about? Is he going to say something before or after? So no,
I don't know.
yeah. So
Gampers, watch what? The Egg Salad Sandwich Show? Don't know. Okay, I got a solid one on County Com. Okay, there you go. County Com, great prepper website. Blaine, check out the GP7. The winding radios are pieces of shit. Well, they use batteries. You can also plug it in if they have power, but they also come with a crank that you can wind. But they don't last long when you crank them up, unless you get
but
a really
it
good
doesn't.
one.
It's called County Calm. It doesn't have Patriot in the name or guns or
Right.
one of those other things that means it's awesome and it's patriotic and it loves the Second Amendment and it's just beautiful. It's just a boring County Calm. I don't know if I trust anything from there. He says
Yeah, well, all
sarcastically.
right, County Com, Government Products Group. So what do they have here? Oh, I'm on the wrong. I'm not on Chrome. I can't share it.
It says government in the bill. That's even worse.
Government.
It's deep state.
So they
They
have
track
tools.
all the
Yeah,
stuff you buy there. They
that's right.
track.
Tools, knives, pens, lights, watches, storage, radios. Let's click radios. I'm sorry, I'm not sharing it. GP7, 98.95. That one looks good. That's much better than the one I have.
Commies and communists. Yes, that's what it is. County communist. They got to have
Right.
patriot in the name. I don't buy coffee unless it's patriotic coffee, because I don't want non-patriotic coffee.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then
I've never bought that Black Rifle coffee, or because it's too expensive. But some people have said it tastes like shit. So
I have Don Francisco. It's a local guy.
I know that brand.
It's
Yeah,
been around forever and it's good. And
yeah. That's I've had that when I lived in L.A. It was a
I'm,
big
I'm
selling. They
I'm
sell it
sure
here
I'm
too.
helping out the Mexican cartels by buying that, but I don't care.
I had that for years. It was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. I
Yeah.
mean, it amazing because so the best I could get is if I bought 5 cans at a time, I could get a price of $5.99 for the can. But then it went up to $10.99 at one point. I think that was because of the tariffs on Brazil or whatever. But it's down to $8.99 now. So I was heaven forfend. I was actually buying Folgers for a while just because I couldn't see paying double for the same amount of coffee. So I gutted it out and I got Kroger brand is what I got. Kroger
Right.
generic coffee. So
Okay. The brand of emergency radio I bought, and again, it's just very basic, but it works. The brand name is Kaito, Kaito. You can buy it on Amazon or the prepper sites.
is that Korean?
And
That sounds Korean.
it's a Japanese sounding name, but I'm sure it's made in China.
Okay, okay.
And the one I bought was $39 maybe, and it works fine. It's a transistor radio, and in fact, yeah, probably $39. They come in all kinds of bright colors, and if you want a basic radio for an emergency, it works fine. It's not the best one by any stretch, but it'll do the
Yeah,
job. Yeah.
I'm just messing with Mac Lobster. The whole EDC thing, that was classic. When the watch channels were running out of content, especially who was that guy, Blue something or other, Blue Whale or something? Who was that guy?
I
He
don't
was
know.
always talking about everyday carry. What is your everyday carry?
Canadian prepper?
No, he was a Blue. No, he's a YouTuber. It was Blue something.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
Only Blue something or never Blue something or whatever. I'm
Okay.
sure somebody can remember who he was.
All right.
Um, you see, you go to the wrong. I don't know why you go. I mean, there's 1,000 different watch channels. There's a guy who used to call himself um, nothing, or what is it? Not the
Yeah. Not in fancy.
not the obvious. Nothing obvious.
Nothing. I don't know him.
And then there was Rob. There's a guy down in San Pedro, Rob something or other. But
Don't
there's
know.
a whole bunch of guys that just get on there. They're really nice. They talk about their watch collection. They show you some watches. Sometimes it's all on their own. Sometimes they're supported by a local jeweler or watchmaker or whatever. And they don't talk about. They don't use 4-letter words. They don't talk about their exploits, and they don't get into any kind of controversy.
Right. They're not mental cases like.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
But I mean,
By the way, I want to recommend for the viewers a channel I really like. I think the guy who's the host, he would be he's such a good host of his channel. It's about testing ammunition, ballistic testing, and that kind of stuff. And he's from Virginia, and he would be as good if he was reviewing air fryers or toasters or toothbrushes. I mean, he's such an engaging, amusing personality. The channel name is, here it is, Tools and Targets. And I watch all his videos, or I probably have seen most all of them. If you're interested in ammunition testing, he and stuff like that, Tools and Targets, and he's the best of the ammo testing channels, I find, because he's really entertaining, and yeah. So check it out. I have no connection to the channel. Spring, beans, bullets, bouillon, and butt wipes. Well, that's your emergency prep supplies right there. Yeah. Yeah, the emergency radio is very important because, when the Civil War breaks out, you're going to need some kind of radio on batteries. If anything, you could pick up shortwave and hear what's going on from Hungary or something.
Yeah, the watch channel I was thinking about is a thing called Just Bluefish.
Oh, I saw that years ago. Yeah.
And let me think if he stopped. Yeah, the last one is 11 months ago, so I guess he gave up the ghost. But he was really
I've seen
trying.
that years and years ago.
Yeah, no, he was
Yeah.
giving it the good college try.
Yeah,
He
right.
ended up having ultimately to shill for a local jeweler, but hey, whatever works.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. I watched a couple of his videos. I didn't subscribe or anything. Yeah.
But he was really into EDC and stuff like that as well. So.
Right, right. Oh, man. So I'll tell you the iodine story. When's the last time you bought iodine? If ever.
It's interesting you mention about that because I haven't bought iodine by itself. I know people want to buy iodine in case of a nuclear war. But,
Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, as an antiseptic, not as a supplement or.
Well, that's the other thing too is, people weren't getting enough iodine in their diets. At least that's what the government thought. So they
Right.
iodized salt.
That's right.
But then everybody stopped having salt because
Right.
that was supposed to be bad for you. And I don't know if kosher salt has iodine in it or not.
I don't know.
And everybody, these guys who want to be all special, they use kosher salt for everything instead of regular salt.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if people are not having enough iodine in their diet because they're limiting their salt content.
Well, Morton salt is iodized. I'm looking at
But
the
people aren't
website.
getting that. They're getting this. They're getting kosher. I mean, this is silly. I have a big giant box of Morton salt, and I use that. I can see kosher salt for like presentation. At the very end, you sprinkle it on the food, and it looks, it sparkles like diamonds. It's
Okay.
great. But as far as like putting it into water, like if you're cooking pasta, to me that's a total waste. Just put any salt in there; it all dissolves anyway.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are putting kosher everywhere. And it's kind of like they're just trying to be hoity-toity about the whole thing. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Morton. The package says Morton iodized salt. The package hasn't really changed in like 100 years.
Yeah, but that's iodized. But people aren't having enough. People aren't
You're
eating
correct.
as much salt.
Right. That's right.
And
Yeah.
then also, I wonder about like processed foods. Do they bother to iodize the salt that's in processed foods, or they just throw regular salt in there?
It's funny, McLops, you say Morton's ain't even real salt. To me, that tastes good. I bought salt at Trader Joe's. It's in the salt little plastic grinder mill, and it says product of South Africa, and it's called sea salt, I think. And it is so strong. I don't like it at all. I never had salt that tasted so strong. I like the Morton salt taste better, or the usual restaurant salt.
If you want to go full hoity-toity, you got to get the Himalayan.
Himalayan bullshit salt, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to get a salt that's passed through a monkey's butt. That's what I want.
There you go. Campers, Bluefish gives off creeper vibes, as many of those channels too. Right? Okay. Campers, are you restocking the old larder again? What does that mean?
Well, the larder is like you're, making sure you have enough beans and.
Oh,
carrot.
right. No, I don't really have an EDC prepper supply like I did. Because I've changed my feeling about it. It's like, well, I've got enough, and at this point, frankly, what difference does it make? Is my attitude now. Remember Tim Masso? He should be selling vintage wine instead of wristwatches. Well, he could sell anything too. Yeah. So Morton's is sodium. That shit fucks with your blood pressure. Potassium salt is somehow better.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if your doctor puts you on a low salt diet, instead of having NaCl, you can have, I think it's KCl or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it tastes the same or different. I never had it, but
Yeah.
again, I sprinkle I can sprinkle the tiniest amount on my eggs just to give it, or my salads. Because, a friend of mine is like, how can you have like salad, like lettuce, without a little bit of salt? Because it's so bitter.
Yeah, right.
A bit of salt, just pulls all the flavors out. It's just
Right.
amazing what it
Right.
does.
Yeah. So I was at the doctor yesterday, and I told him after we did all the stuff. I said, "Hey, I'd like you to look at something. I've got a bump under my arm." So he went, "Oh, really? Let's take a look." And I only noticed it like 2 days ago. Okay. So I took off my shirt and lifted up my arm. It's right in the middle of my armpit. Okay, big bump. And I said, "Do you think that's just a zit, or maybe something different?" Like I didn't say it, but I intimated, a lymph cancer node or something like that. Anyway, lymph node cancer, or whatever. And he said, So he's poking around. He put on the glove and he was poking around on it. And he said, "Well, I can't tell right now what it is, but let's go on the approach of it's just a big zit, and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to put you on an antibiotic." And he gave me a prescription for that. You take this 2 a day for 14 days, or 2 a day for 7 days, I think, something like that. I don't remember. I said, "Really?" He goes, "Well, let's make sure we can knock it out, and then if nothing happens, then we'll kick it up a notch and see what's going on." I said, "Okay." And also get some iodine and follow the instructions on the bottle, and 2-3 times a day, just put a little iodine on it. So we'll attack it internally and on the thing itself. So I said, "Oh, so we're going to kick the shit out of it?" And he said, "Yeah, basically." So when I was at Safeway today, I looked in their first aid section. They had a bottle of iodine, and but last night I looked up Amazon to see what iodine they have, and they have all kinds of brands. Betadine is an iodine brand. And I noticed that they come in 2%, 4%, and 10% iodine solution, okay? And I thought, well, how do you know which one to get? Of course, I don't know. So I thought, well, I'll go to Safeway and see what they had. And they only had one bottle. It was a Safeway brand, okay? The 10% iodine solution, $5.99 for the bottle. And I thought, well, I don't want the Safeway brand. I should go to Walgreens and buy a better brand, or see Choices. Then I just had a major change in my attitude. It's like, just buy it. It's probably the exact same thing. So I bought the Safeway brand, 10% iodine solution. That's the end of the story. The story normally would have been, so I went over to Walgreens and looked at all theirs. Then I didn't buy anything there. Then I went back to Amazon and waited 3 days for a delivery. Because I liked it better, the packaging or something. So would you buy the Safeway brand if you needed antiseptic iodine, or would you keep looking for a fancier packaged brand name?
Well, I always buy for those things. I always buy the generic brand. Like if I have white vinegar, I buy the generic brand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I always generic because I
Wow.
figure it's like, what do I use it for? Like the white vinegar, I don't ever use it for cooking. I use it for cleaning, right? I put it
Cleaning the coffee pot,
Exactly.
the coffee maker, right?
It doesn't have to be.
Well, I bought the Heinz vinegar. I don't know what they call it. It's,
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about it.
yeah, and they also had the Kroger Safeway brand. And I thought, well, I'll get. It was only like $1 more, so I bought the Heinz one for the coffee machine. But it's probably the same thing, maybe. Yeah. Okay. So you would have bought the generic Safeway brand.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
I think anything that goes on the exterior, even if it goes in a wound or something, I'm just going to buy the generic brand because I got to trust. Either one of two things is true. Either, everything is really screwed up and they're not testing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So even the Heinz is going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's a minimal set and people are just, people want to keep their jobs. I mean, I work for a company and there's a whole bunch of things we could get away with that we don't because we have too many people that could, think on us, right? So we have this huge amount of things we have to, because we deal with some nasty chemicals and stuff. And so we have to keep track of them, how much we have on hand. We can't have too many at one time. We have to dispose of them in the proper way. And it probably costs the company a lot of money because we can't just throw it in the trash. We have to have it hauled away by special people to special dumps or for processing. So I have a feeling that, And also the thing is too is we find out sometimes that the generic brand is just stuff that was made by Heinz, for example.
Hmm.
They made too much and they couldn't sell it, so they gave
Yeah,
it to the
right.
generics. You might be getting the same exact quality.
Very possibly.
So
Yeah. So I mean, I just thought, well, look, it's going to be fine. Yeah. It's not a complicated product to make, so so I bought the Safeway brand, which was very unlike me because normally I would have kept going around to another store and bought something with a brand name or something that looked better. But it doesn't matter. Okay, let's continue. Ariel Adams, blog to watch is good. I haven't looked at his page in 2 years, 3 years. His interview with Archie is really entertaining. I must have seen that, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Morton's is sodium. That shit that fucks with your blood pressure. Well, only if you take too much, right?
exactly.
Yeah. Here at Doc's report, push the water to flush the salt. Okay. When salt loses its saltiness, what can you do? Buy a stronger salt. Get that Trader Joe's sea salt in the grinders. I don't even like the flavor of it. It doesn't taste like the usual salt. But
No,
it's actually probably the real salt. Yeah.
That's a biblical reference there.
Right. Push the water and pull the pork. Exactly. I like sea salt. It has more mercury. Egg salad has tons of iodine. Does it? I don't know.
So what you should be doing is you should have a bunch of egg salad sandwiches walking around your house just in case there's a nuclear explosion.
Oh, right.
So you can eat them, and then your pituitary gland will be protected.
Ah, right. Well, you can take iron tablets, iron supplements, but iodide supplements.
Well, you know what I found out, and I was hoping about this, is that single malt Scotch has lots of iodine in it. At least the Islay ones that have that
really
flavor. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And right now, I have some really good Islay malt. So if
so you're set for the bomb. Okay.
If the Iran thing goes the wrong way, then I can pound that and save my pituitary gland.
Right. Himalayan salt is made from the dehydrated tears of those who failed to summit. Right. Okay. Question for Doc's report. Easy Company squeezed out a turd on stream on your network earlier this morning. This is as some viewers were eating our breakfast. What will it take for you to intercede? Wow, I don't know anything about that. You mean it must have been the Jackson Bob overnight show last night, is what you're getting at. Wow.
Are you part of a network now?
No.
The Morty network is a single channel, so yeah.
Yeah, there's no network here. There's nothing here but egg salad talk. Okay. Hey, JB, how you doing? We just finished our egg salad chat. Okay. Generic vinegar works fine for poached eggs.
Yeah, see, that's the same thing. You put a little bit of vinegar in water for poached eggs, just like you put some salt in water.
Really? I didn't know that.
When you're cooking pasta or anything else, right?
You put generic vinegar in the water when you're making poached eggs?
Yeah, there's something about the vinegar that I think it keeps the egg more together.
Ah, interesting.
Put it in the water. I think that's the way it works. I'm not certain. But.
Okay. Do you know actually what vinegar is? Like the bottle of Heinz vinegar? It's made from corn, but what is it?
Is it? I thought it was wine that had been super aged or something.
I don't know what it is. I don't remember.
I thought wine turned to vinegar, so.
Oh, I thought this was from corn something, but I don't know.
Because corn is just sweet. That's all you get from corn is sugar.
I don't know. All right, Gampers, you may be mistaken. Different channel, perhaps. Well, Gampers, breaking, shit hits fan, CFN to probe Jackson Easy. Oh, probing. Right. If you want to see the proper application of iodine, check out Ray Fiennes in 28 Years Later. 28 Years Later?
There was a movie called, I saw 28 Days Later, which is a really good zombie movie. And then they just came out with 28 Years Later.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's it's a different because the zombies move quick instead of slow like they do in like Night of the Living Dead. So it's a totally different take. So 28
Years Later, 2025. Here it is. Yeah.
So it's one of those things like if you had a really horrible pandemic where it traveled real fast, like one person, then two, then four, then eight, then 16, and within 28 days, most of the population has got this, are zombies, and the few people remaining that don't have it are running around trying to get away from the zombies.
I see what it is. Yeah.
And then 28 years later, I think there's some survivors that have ended up on an island.
Yeah, it says a group of survivors of the rage virus live on a small island. When one of the group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only the infected, but other survivors.
That's interesting. I like 28 Days Later, but I missed all the sequels.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that movie.
I think there was like 28 weeks or 28 months later or something like that. There was something in between. So
right. In case of nuclear explosion, it won't matter. Well, if you're not in target zero, but 50 miles away, 100 miles away, then yeah, the iodide could save your life. If you're going to get vaporized, it won't matter.
It's kind of, if there's an all-out nuclear war, we're all toast, because I was having a conversation with some friends, and if you look at the number of cities in America that have over 100,000 people, there's between 300 and 400, right? And so, like, if, let's say Russia's on the side of Iran, and Iran nukes Israel, and Israel nukes Iran, and so Russia nukes us, or whatever. Let's just say it goes all. They've got like close to 2,000 missiles, so they can blow up all of our major population centers and still have a bunch of left over, right? So it's not looking good for us if World War III starts.
The only person who'll survive is Ross Rachel Brady up in the Ozarks.
Well, there's going to be a bunch of people surviving, maybe in like bunkers, right? Like what's his? They're really scummy people like Thiel and Altman and Elon and all those assholes. They're going to survive. They're going to have a bunch of really hot babes.
That's right. They're going to have 25 women per man.
And their only thing they have to worry about is they probably have a bunch of like really meaty guards down there to prevent people from coming through the door, the river door they have. And those guys could, the light bulb could go off and they could say, I want to be king. and then Elon or Thiel or whatever is now just a simp and just
yeah. But there are people who live in an area that would not be that could survive a national attack. A nuclear attack on the U.S. because they're just very far away from anything. Or people up in way northern Canada. That's not a target.
The Eskimos will survive, right?
Yeah, there's no targets up in way northern Canada by the Arctic.
So interesting. There was one of the science fiction. I've read a lot of. I haven't read a lot of science fiction, mostly Bradbury, but there's one called A Canticle for Leibowitz. Have you heard of this book?
I might have heard of that.
And it's basically. It starts like after a massive nuclear war has happened and people are basically recovering from it. And the capital of the U.S. is Texarkana. And it's kind of interesting because if you look at the map, Texarkana is kind of away from all the major populations. So you could see where that would be the one city that would survive. Now, I don't know if that's still true today. I don't know how big Texarkana is, but I thought that was kind of a cool thing that, they were talking about all these, whatever emperor or something that was running the U.S. was seated in a Texarkana.
Yeah. Morty, you're not actually going to take an antibiotic for his... I don't know. Well, he doesn't know if it's a zit or maybe something different. So he said, first we're going to, put on the iodine. The label said put it on, dab it with iodine 2 or 3 times a day. And the antibiotic is 2 a day for 7 days, I think. And then we'll look at it then. If it doesn't go away, he said, come back. And it's probably lymph node cancer, and I'll be dead in a month. But, I'm... it's okay.
I got the impression that you already are dying of something else. The last time I listened...
I'm always dying. Every morning I wake up, I go, oh, this is it.
I'm so glad to hear that. I am so glad to hear that because you're just being sarcastic, which is good to hear.
Well, no, it's true, but...
we're all dying. That's true. We're all dying.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Of old age.
This in case there are any pharmacists or physicians in the audience, where's my Olight, little miniature light here? This stuff is called, the antibiotic is called one capsule 2 times a day. And how many? It's 14 days. Oh, shit. Unbelievable. I hate doing that. Doxycycline hyclate.
That's interesting.
Doxycycline HYC. 100 milligram capsule. And
HYC or HCl?
HYCLATE.
Huh. That's
I'm not a pharmacist or a chemist, so I don't know what that hyclate means.
play one on TV.
Doxycycline was called. So, yeah. So I'll take another one tonight. I started this morning. I took one this morning, and I'll take one tonight. 14 days, shit. Yeah. But I've already assumed it's lymph node cancer, and I'll be out in no time, and it's okay. All right, let's continue on here. Campers, I know Easy was allowed on the show, unaware of the alleged details you're providing. Nippa, what does that mean? Anyone keeping up with Fallout? Highly entertaining. What's that? Fallout. No idea. Docs, I stand by that story, but will trust you to do your due diligence. Which would you prefer, Spring? Air burst, surface burst, or subsurface?
So I tried to answer that question. I said subsurface if not near me, and it wouldn't take it. But I typed in subsurface and it took that, and then I just typed in if not near me, and it didn't take it. So I'm wondering if it's trying to protect me from being doxxed. By saying if not near me.
Right. Now, what would be the difference? Air burst, surface burst, or subsurface?
So if it's subsurfaced, I think that's going to be less. I don't know. It's like air burst. That's going to cause what do you call it?
Fallout.
EMP, right?
Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah, and it's going to go further. Subsurface. If it goes subsurface, it may kick up more dirt, but it's going to be more localized. So if I'm not near it, then that'll have less chance of affecting me.
I see. Yeah.
But I'm in LA, so I'm going to be nuked. So
there was right. There was a movie like around 1960. It was very well done, and it starred and was directed by Ray Milland, if anybody remembers who he was. And
the man with the X-ray eyes.
Yeah, and the movie was good. Let me recommend this movie. I can't remember the name. And he's on a camping trip with his family. He left L.A. and he's heading up to Central California on a vacation. And he hears on the radio that L.A. just got nuked. So everybody is leaving L.A. and heading out into the country, but he's already way out in the country. So he goes to a general store and stocks up on all the food and stuff, and then it's called Panic in Year Zero.
Wow.
And is that it? Let me just... Yeah, that's it. Panic in Year Zero. A family leaves L.A. for a camping trip just before an H-bomb destroys the city. In the midst of the chaos, the father must fight to keep his family alive along the highway. And Ray Milland and Frankie Avalon plays his son.
Interesting.
But this is 1962 when Frankie Avalon was at his peak, I guess, of fame. So it makes sense he would be in that. And it's a good film. I really liked it. I was surprised how good it was. So Panic in Year Zero.
So there's a guy, he got criticized for it, but I think he made some sense. Is that if you have those plastic sheets, there's a term for those. I can't remember what they called, and some duct tape. If you have a place in your house where you can just basically cover all the cracks and crannies, like the door.
Yeah.
What you want to do is after a burst, if you aren't like burned or destroyed by the shock waves or whatever, if you're still standing, you want to basically keep any kind of like particle out of your body. You don't want to breathe in any kind of particle.
Yeah, right.
Because they're all radioactive, and then it'll be inside your body radioactive.
Right.
So if you can do that and wait, and hopefully there's some kind of rain or something that kind of rains all that
What
stuff.
kind of sheet material is it?
There's a thing, I don't know what it's called. It's got a name for it, but it's basically that thick plastic see-through sheeting.
So you have to have sufficient tape and that sheeting ready to go.
Yeah, or even basically if you want to cover over every hole that dust could come in, basically.
Right.
So then you that way, and then if you can hold up for a week, if the bombs are all dropped. They're saying that all the bombs will be dropped within an hour or two, and then they'll stop, right? And then so you prevent yourself from getting anything inside your body, and then you'll get radiated. So you'll get radiation damage, and you might die because you're too close. But if you're not, like a lot of Japanese, you'll just get cancer 30 years from now. So
right.
So yeah, that'll be bad. But the survivors, maybe there will no longer be the technology to help you cure your cancer. But you'll live for 20 or 30 years before you heal over. So that's the kind of thing.
Right. I see. Okay, that's interesting.
So that's if you want to survive. If you want to just say, well, okay, this is it. I don't want to be one of the survivors because there's going to be a bunch of roving gangs. And
can you imagine in parts of LA or Southern California or here in Portland or Minneapolis, the kind of people who would be the survivors roaming around?
Well, you think about it. All those homeless people that live down in the sewers and the flood control tower. Those are the guys. A few of those guys will survive, maybe, right?
Yeah. They'll be the ones. They'll be the dominant population after the attack, and it'll be like the Omega Man. You ever see that with Charlton Heston?
Oh, I love that movie.
That's a pretty good film. Yeah.
I got to see that again. Yeah,
check it out, docs. The Omega Man, Charlton Heston. He's one of the very few survivors of a total nuke attack. And for some reason, he was totally normal, but everybody else turned into a freak or a zombie or something. And they were always out every day trying to attack him. So he carried a machine gun with him. And every time he went out for supplies, he had to, machine gun these Walking Dead kind of people.
So, and I of all the people who are listening in, you're probably the only one that knows the answer to this question. The actor's name of the guy that was sort of the chief zombie.
Was that Anthony Zerbe?
Yes. One of my favorite character actors.
Yeah, he was very good. That movie, I think, was a remake of the movie with Vincent Price called The Last Man on Earth.
And also that it was done again with Will Smith, right? The Last Man.
Well, I'm not going to watch that. Yeah,
I know, but those were three movies that were basically the same.
Right.
From the same book.
The Charlton Heston one, Omega Man, is better than I found it much better than the Vincent Price one, which was fine. But I liked Omega Man better. Yeah.
It was the Vincent Price was interesting. It was almost like an accountant. He was going through the town block by block and killing all the people. Mm-hmm. It was kind of an odd. It was a little bit too weird that way. But
yeah, well, it was good movie content for 1960s.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
All right, let's catch up on the poor drum. No, I'm all drugged up tonight, so I can't have any alcohol tonight. What do you mean might be? Right. I just want to live long enough to empty out the fridge.
You're late night stuff.
Right. Link for Jax. Well, link is posted if anybody wants to. Anthony Zerbe. Cool Hand Luke. Yeah. A dog hand. That's right. He was in Papillon too. He was the co-star. I never watched that show, but it was a David Jansen series called Harry O.
Oh, I love that show, yeah.
And I think he was the co-star of that series for whatever number of years it was on. Yeah. He was in a great Hawaii Five-0 back in late 60s, early 70s. Very, very good episode. I remember it, yeah. Total nutcase who, well, anyway, it was good. He sends McGarrett a letter, and he says, how you doing, Steve? That scumbag just got off. That's gang boss just got off at his trial. But don't worry, Steve. I'm going to take care of him. And he goes and executes people who, squeak away, slimy lawyer court case and don't go to prison. And he calls himself Mother's Helper. So he's calling these people who, these dangerous criminals who are getting aren't getting sentenced in their court case, and then he goes out there killing them, and so McGarrett has to track him down. It was very good.
I once saw a one act play or one person play that was put on by Anthony Zerbe's son.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually pretty good. I can't remember exactly what was wrong, but I know that these one person plays can be absolutely excruciating to listen to. But this one was actually pretty good. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought he was in one of the Planet of the Apes movies too, but
he might have been. He might have been.
Well, Doc says no, but I think like the third or fourth one, I thought he was in.
Wasn't he the one where they had the nuclear weapons that went off? Wasn't he?
Yeah,
like the
and Victor
scientist?
Buono, I think, was in that one too. And they were in underground New York City in the subway system.
He didn't play. Yeah, he didn't play an ape. He played a human, I think.
Yeah. He played. I think it was Victor Buono and him, and they lived in the underground New York City subway, which was all bombed out. And I forgot who the star of that one was. James Franciscus or.
Yeah, it wasn't. It
was like the third or fourth Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah. Beneath the Planet of the Apes, I think that was what it was.
That might be it. Yeah. And that was a decent film.
Yeah, I mean that whole series was okay. Then they made it new, and it got kind of creepy again. But I watched
that up. Beneath the Planet of the Apes sounds familiar.
I watched the first
1970. Okay, that was James Franciscus. I was right. Shit. The sole survivor of an interplanetary rescue mission searches for the only survivor of the previous expedition. He discovers a planet ruled by apes and an underground city run by telepathic humans. James Franciscus, Kim Hunter, Maurice Evans. Those were two of the original apes. Okay. Paul Richard, Charlton Heston, Victor Buono, right? Jeff Corey, James Gregory. No.
Maybe it was someone that reminded us of Zerbe.
Yeah. But I saw that one. I don't know what the other Planet of the Apes movies were then. So, but
no, he was in a lot of things. Like I'm sure he was in an episode of Streets of San Francisco.
Oh, probably right.
Things like that. So,
I'm looking him up right now. He did all those TV shows. Yeah, and how many credits? Probably a couple. 116 TV.
Definitely.
Cool Hand Luke, 12 O'Clock High, The Big Valley, Route 66, Wild Wild West, The Virginian, Bonanza,
all those westerns, yeah.
Omega Man, Mission Impossible, Ironside, Gunsmoke, Streets of San Francisco, one episode, right? The FBI, Papillon, Hawaii Five-0, right? 1974. That was it. Kung Fu.
Kung Fu. I think I remember that episode.
He was in 2 episodes.
I think I was right. YouTube recommended it. It was like he was the head of this gang, and they were going to push him over a cliff. And instead of being pushed over the cliff, he jumped over the cliff and survived.
Wow.
That was interesting. Yeah, because he jumped into a river, basically. That's where the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid stole that from him, or he stole that from them. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. So he did all he had big credits there. Yeah. Okay. License to Kill. That's correct. Right. I just saw that. Well, 12 people watching. Thanks very much. Very good. So, let's change the picture. Morty still needs the money, but no money on this show. Vulture. Oh, there's the penance list. Everyone's still talking about the penance list. It changes daily because of market conditions, but this is the latest.
You should designate everything in ounces of silver.
Well, yeah, I can accept silver. Right.
Well, but then you could keep it the same, and then it would just go up.
Oh, I see. Right. And that's all the pictures I have on today. Yeah. Did I ask you about this watch? What do you think of this watch?
It's gorgeous. Yeah, like you see my avatar. I showed my Presage that I have.
Yeah.
got the cocktail time, so it's more flared.
Oh yeah, we did talk about it. Yeah, it's only $940, but that's a fortune for me, But yeah, very good. Blanco, Spring. Any thoughts on that Japanese physicist Michio Kaku?
Cuckoo, yeah.
Kuku. He was a big proponent of string theory. No.
He's one of those. I call him Muchi Kaka because Mucho Kaka. I call him Mucho Kaka because he's one of those guys that just comes up and just says the wildest thing, like we're going to go to Mars and this is how we're going to do it. And we're going to go to the moon and we're going to build cities on the moon and this is how we're going to do it. And it's all this sort of pie in the sky stuff. And also string theory. I'm with Sabine Hassenpfeffer or whatever her name is. She thinks I was
Hassenpfeffer.
Well, Hassbinder. I don't know what her name is, but anyway,
right.
She's this very famous sort of science popularizer, and she's not so hot with this string theory because even if it turned out to be true, it wouldn't be provable. There's no experiments you could run that would prove it was correct as opposed to something else. So it's not really scientific. It shouldn't be called string theory. It should be called string hypothesis.
Mm-hmm.
Theories are things that have been, things like relativity theory. I mean, that's a theory because it's been shown to be true. And maybe there's some wrinkles to it that we don't know, but and like in Newton's theories, I mean, those are for large objects that are not traveling near the speed of light. It's very accurate. So people use that to build bridges and roads, things like that. So those are theories or even laws, whereas string quote unquote theory is really just a hypothesis right now.
McLobster, like that Emoto guy with the water structure science. Nonsense. I don't know who that is, what he's talking about.
Anybody that tries to build science on earth, air, fire, and water, I'm going to give them some credit for just being like old school, but I think it's ultimately going to fail.
Right. And Doc's report says it's all consciousness, means nothing.
Well, see, that's an interest. No, there's a guy named Tegmark who thinks that he's a PhD physicist who thinks that everything is just math. And that somehow math can create, make it seem like we have matter around us in time and space and all that.
Everything is, did you say mass or math?
Math with a TH, yeah.
Math, okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting theory. I don't know very many people believe it, but, he pushes it, so.
Right.
There's always this people they don't want to say that there's two types of things, right? They don't want to be what they call dualists. They don't want to say, like there was that big problem of like Descartes. They talk about the ghost in the machine. Like you have this soul or spirit or something that moves your body around. But how does a ghost, which has its own laws, interact with matter, which has its own laws? How does that happen, right? So people don't like that. So they want everything to be all matter, or they want everything to be all ideas. So you have the idealists back in the 1900s and such who believe that they're, all we have is our perceptions, right? We don't actually interface directly with the world. We just have perceptions of the world. We see the world, we hear the world, we touch the world, but that's all sensations that come into us, right? So there are people that say no, so the world doesn't really exist. There's no actual matter. We're just interacting somehow. And so everything is just perceptions and concepts and ideas and such. So that's one theory.
But a dish of lasagna exists if it's right in front of you.
But you only taste it and see it, and you don't actually you can. I mean, your senses separate you from it in a way. You have to go through all sorts of philosophical somersaults to get there, but. It's, there were very intelligent people in Britain that, they called themselves the idealists. They were a important school for, 50 or 60 years, maybe even 100 years. and then the materialists came in, and they're the ones who basically rule the world today. And everybody thinks, oh, they're just so much more practical, and they're more rational, they make more sense than all those idiots who are idealists, but they have their own problems. And one of the biggest problems, I think, is they believe that if they create some kind of computer program like these artificially intelligent programs, that somehow they'll gain consciousness, they'll become alive like us, which to me is stupid. But they have to believe that because they're materialists. They can't believe that there's something inside us, like a soul or a spirit or something like that, that's separate from that, or that's, to some extent separate from our body. They have to believe everything is matter. And so they look at our brain, it's a bunch of matter. And then they can just make a computer that's a bunch of matter. It's different. Our brain is carbon based. Their brains, these data centers, are silicon based. And so they should be able to, if they have enough chips, create consciousness, and it would be self-aware, and it'll have free will, and it'll have its own goals it'll set and stuff. And the problem is probably not. But if it did, then they're in a worse case, because if this thing is just an inanimate tool that they can use, they can do whatever the heck they want. They can turn the power off. They can stick it in a data center and house it there and separate it off from the rest of the internet because they don't want it to take over the world. But if it actually is a sentient being and they turn it off, they basically killed it. They murdered it. And if they keep it closed up in a data center and don't connect it to the internet, then they're essentially kidnapping it. So they're screwed either way. But of course, they just want money flowing at them. So they're not going to go through all these philosophical, questions. They're just going to do what the fuck they want to do because they don't want to make money. They want to take money. It's basically my theory. So,
Have you ever talked on the show with Aussie Expat?
Yeah, I have for a couple times. I don't. I think
he's a software engineer and a finance guy, and he's at your level of IQ, And
but we never talked about that. We were talking about like chocolates and different kinds of
right.
foods and things like that, which they have some pretty good stuff there. I wouldn't mind going there just to get their access to the kind of food they got.
Who's got?
In Australia.
Well, he lives in Las Vegas, but
but he was there. So I think he how
he's
long
from Australia, but he's been living in Las Vegas.
Yeah. I probably could have worked through you and stuff and met him when I was in Vegas the last time, but I was just on a kind of short schedule. So.
Right. Very interesting guy. Yeah. Is there an Uzi in that shoulder bag? That's an interesting question. Let's take a look. Look at that. Well, you don't know what's in there, Okay.
Have you noticed, we had the whole thing where ads whenever they had a family, one of the parents was one race and one of the other parents was a different race, right? We had that whole thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now I see a lot of ads where they have these individuals and it's hard to tell whether they're male or female. It's kind of weird.
Correct.
And it's freaking me out,
Correct.
It's just not like this one, like this ad. I know it's a male, but in this case, it's a disguise.
Well, that's a male YouTube host who does a lot of face blasting send money now for face blasting. He's got a big audience.
But the ads are more ambiguous.
Now, for example, you're correct, and they've neutered the American sexes into just being. Where's that picture? Now, this is a woman. This is a female here. Okay?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and
I think your holidays are off.
Yeah,
you need to update holidays.
Yeah, you're right with the pumpkin. Well, you can give a pumpkin on Valentine's Day.
If you want a short-term relationship, you give a pumpkin.
Right. Blaine, I thought we went through the androgynous thing in the 80s. Yeah, well, it's back, baby. And people here in Portland, I don't know what they are. Women or men, so they're just they, them. By the way, I want to, Doc, since you're here, I'm glad you're here. You had mentioned to me on the last show He thought it was foolish of me to go out and buy a new holster when there are so many bills I have to pay. But I was thinking about that today because no, where I live, you need to be carrying because it's such a dangerous environment. Just going to Safeway today is filled with the scariest people. And I was
Mm.
thinking, I don't think a guy like Doc's can relate to that because he lives in what's one of the paradise communities in the United States. It's just affluent, successful people owning homes in the beautiful part of Florida in the villages. They have the high heat and the insects, but otherwise, it's a paradise for for people to live in as seniors. And I don't think the villages is rampant with Bloods and Crips and fentanyl dealers and hoes and pimps and gangbangers and street people living on the street, prowling the streets at night. Like goblins. So
You have those pickleballers, those nefarious pickleballers.
right. Yeah, right. Yeah. So if I lived in the villages, I don't think it's a whole different world down there compared to the shithole of, parts of LA or Portland, Seattle, and so on, or other cities.
Well, I heard a couple of things about the villages. One is that the house prices have dropped like 20%. And because of they kind of overdid it during the lockdowns. And then the second thing is that I guess the villages, I didn't know the villages had their own sort of like hospital, and they were overcharging Medicare. They were putting down on people's charts tests that weren't run, and so they could bill that to Medicare, and that was all paid for by United Health.
Right.
And United Health is now suing villages to get that money back.
Mm.
It's like $500 million or something.
It's a lot of money.
So the hospital might go bankrupt, and now all the people there will have to drive into one of the local cities in order to get medical care. They can't just get in their electric golf cart and drive to the medical center.
Mm-hmm. I saw some thumbnail political show on YouTube, so I clicked on it, and there was some woman on there. It was Sky News Australia. It was showing some wacko liberal fucktard. I mean, just an absolute nutcase who's got a YouTube channel and appears on TV shows. And I watched the clip. She's absolutely out of her mind with the insane liberalism, completely insane. Okay, so I looked up who she is, and she has a web page. And on the front of her web page is a endorsement by Mark Hamill, the actor, and it says, "This woman is a revelation. Every person in America needs to listen to this woman and watch her videos." It's like, holy cow! If you ever thought Mark Hamill was a nut and you weren't sure, today it was verified, certified. The guy is absolutely out of his mind with the liberalism. Wow. With the fanatic liberalism. Unbelievable. But anyway. Yeah, I mean, you got pickleball, you got golf, you got swimming pools, you got tennis, you got hikes, golf cart rides, bicycle rides. You got everything at the villages. Monopoly, pinochle, pool, billiards, cards, adult entertainment. You got everything there.
Well, the interesting thing about the villages is you have some stories that say they're all right-wing GOP Trump supporters, and you have another report that they're all driving to remote parts of the golf course and having sex in public. So
I think the villages has Trumpers, and it has lunatic liberals as well.
So it's interesting. So.
Yeah, and you got the gopher killers as well. So. In the villages, do you have to wear one of those Victorian suits with a number on it? And is there a big ball that keeps you from leaving? Right, exactly. Docs, the village's regional hospital or University of Florida Health, the village's hospital, it's owned and operated by UF, I guess University of Florida Health. Syphilis has ravaged the villages. Wow. I mean, if you were 80 years old and you just came down with syphilis, would you really care that much?
You go blind when you're 130.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting because, I don't know. I mean, they're talking there was these guys. I don't know why, but I started. I was because I was going to buy a house a while back, so I started watching these YouTube channels, and so now I get all these other YouTube channels, and they talk about the situation in Florida. It was really great a few years ago, and now it's not so good because of the condo laws and all that kind of
Hmm.
stuff, and because of that one condo that crashed and everything. So, and all the hurricanes they had recently. So, um, but they're talking about, like you have to think about if you're in the villages if you start when you're like your 50s and you're active and you can play tennis or
Hmm.
golf or heaven forbid pickleball, that all sounds great. But then as you get to be in your 70s, now you're not taking it. You still have to pay probably a higher HOA fee, but now you're taking advantage of fewer and fewer of the amenities, right?
Well, but then again, if you moved there when you're 55 and you bought a house and you're doing all those activities, when you're 75, you might be in such great health. All the sunshine and sports and
But at
socializing
some
and
point, you're like 85 or
yeah, at
90.
some point, yeah,
Yeah,
right,
exactly. So one of the things I liked about Leisure World, I had friends that were there
yeah,
in down in Laguna Beach. They don't call it Leisure World; they call it Laguna Woods now. But
uh-huh,
is they actually have an assisted living facility on, so you can actually transfer from your house to the list. There's like a really simple transition from one to the
right,
other. And if you have relatives that look in on you, you're going to be okay. So um, I don't know if the villages has something like that or if there's something nearby, but you'd like to have at some point either to know there's going to be young women who need to take care of old people, don't mind wiping butts, or
right.
to watch you, or else
I can say I think with complete confidence, I think that if I ever got to that point, I would just wind it all up.
I,
If I
you know
couldn't, if I had to have an assistant, I mean a nurse attendant, wipe my butt and give me a shower and feed me oatmeal, and by that time I'd be just a vegetable. So I would just wrap it up.
what the way I thought that the villages was kind of over the top in terms of sending anti-bug, what do you call them, exterminators through the and killing a lot of these mosquitoes. I thought that
Mm.
I thought it was like I thought it was scarily bug free in the villages because they zap.
Oh, Doc's report has talked about bugs. Well, there's the animals and the lizards and bugs.
Well, those are
Oh.
cool. The animals are cool. I mean, I guess unless you have a really huge crocodile or whatever.
Yeah,
But
he said there was a monkey running around there. I don't know if they caught it yet. He escaped from somewhere.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
then the flying cockroaches. I mean, cockroaches that crawl, that's bad enough. Ones that fly,
oh, the
forget it.
Hawaii had the flying ones. They're huge, and
Uh,
when I saw that they could fly, I almost immediately got a plane the hell out of there. I couldn't believe it.
oh god, that's not fair. That's like the last remnant of the prehistoric times. We hear about like these dragonflies
Oh
that were
yeah.
the size of Cessnas or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah. That goes back like
Yeah,
400 million, 300 million
yeah,
years. Yeah.
that would. But I don't think. I think most humans would just like put a gun to their head if they, if they
Yeah,
were.
you had a 6-foot flying dragonfly. Oh yeah, and those
Jeez.
10-foot centipedes and whatever. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, actually, one of the things that's kind of cool. I don't know if did you ever see the Dune movies?
No, I never saw
Good
those.
ones? Okay, but you can probably go on YouTube, and they have these helicopters in Dune that they're completely impractical. There, people have looked at them scientifically, and they make no sense. But they're
Yeah.
gorgeous because they, instead of having a rotor, they have wings that fly like a dragonfly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the coolest thing to see. I mean, it may not be like real stuff, but and instead of having to watch the whole 2 or 3 hour movie, you can probably just watch a few scenes of those things
Mm-hmm.
flying around, and it's just really cool what they did. But anyway, that's
Right.
a side thing.
Blaine, Morty, do you now or have you ever owned a leisure suit? To the very best of my recollection, the answer is no. But I remember that era. Yeah.
Remember the video game Leisure Suit Larry? Do you remember hearing about that?
Was that a TV show or?
No, it was a video game.
Sounds
And
familiar, but I
and
don't
it
know
was
what
a
that
guy
was.
who just walked through rooms and stuff, and somehow if you got enough points. You could go up to a woman and she'd say yes or whatever,
Oh,
instead
wow.
of no or something like that.
There it is. Leisure Suit Larry is an adult-themed sex comedy video game series. Um, a middle-aged man known for his balding head, Larry, has a penchant for double entendre and iconic leisure suits. The stories typically focus on his unsuccessful attempts to seduce young women. Wow.
I never played it. I think I saw you know,
1987.
yeah, it was kind of a funny thing. Yeah,
Leisure Suit Larry in the Land of the Lounge Lizards.
yeah. I had a sport coat once, but I never had a leisure suit.
Wow. Amazing. Palmetto bugs are large, 1.5 to 2 inches. Flying cockroaches climb anything too. Had one run across my leg while in bed. I've never jumped out of bed ever. That you see, people aren't supposed to live like that. When you have a beautiful home and a nice community, you don't want to. I see. I can't. There's no way I can deal with that.
My mom had a good friend who ended up living in a trailer park in Florida somewhere, and she really wanted to visit her, but she also never wanted to go to Florida. So ultimately, her friend passed away before she got the courage to go to Florida. So
Yeah.
I have a feeling she was probably afraid of the bugs as well.
Yeah, there's no way I can live in an area like that. I mean, it's just impossible. Yeah, there's no flying cockroaches and no, there's no way. Yeah.
The one time I was in Florida was along the East Coast, so in Miami, and then we went down to the Keys. And
Right.
if you're close to the ocean, you don't have a lot of bugs. And
Yeah. I drove. This is a long time ago. I went to Orlando and Kissimmee, but on another trip, I drove all the way down the east side, Jacksonville and Daytona Beach, all the way to Miami. I remember that. I've never been on the western side of Florida.
yeah, it'd be interesting to go to a place like Naples and stuff. I think it'd be kind of a fun place to go visit. But yeah, a friend that spent some time in Florida. I think he was more in the what's that Russian sounding town, right?
St. Petersburg?
St. Petersburg, yeah. St. Peter.
Right, that's on the west, Central Florida on the west side,
Yeah, he was in that area. Yeah.
on the Gulf of America.
Actually, that makes sense because we call ourselves America, but we're really just the United States, and the America is all the Americas, and so it's surrounded by North America and South
That
America.
makes complete sense.
So it makes complete sense.
Yeah. Now, do you consider Mexico North America or Central America?
I think Central America is just that thin band, right? So it's good. Norte Americano. It's north where it's Canada, U.S. and Mexico.
Well, you see, I've always, from my knowledge, it's always been Canada and the U.S. are North America. Mexico and that other little area is Central America, and then there's South America. And then it all changed. And I met this guy early 90s. He was a Mexican guy in LA, and he said Mexico is North America. And I said, well, it's part of Central America. He goes, no, I can prove it. I said, okay, how can you prove it? And he goes, well, you just heard about the North American Free Trade Agreement.
Oh,
That's
NAFTA.
Canada, America, and Mexico. So North America. I said, well, that doesn't explain anything. That's just, North America trading with Mexico. That's all that means, But you can, but it's PC now for Mexico to be considered, or for a long time now, North America. But it's not. It's always been Central America.
Well, you're just suffering from the Mandela effect. That's all.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm basing it on 1960s, 70s maps.
That's interesting. Well, that's one of the things I really feel bad about. My family had this really old Encyclopedia Britannica or something like that. Probably that, and it was just beautiful. It was black leather bound.
Right.
And they had, how they had those really beautiful pictures back then. The drawings and stuff. And they also had these like the kind of false color photos that weren't like they were color, but they weren't like great color, but they had and we just, we weren't using them anymore and they were old, right? So we threw them away or gave them away probably. And I kind of wish we'd kept them because I have a feeling that, like you say, maybe at one time in the past, Mexico was called part of Central America, but you don't know that anymore because all those books are now in the bin, right?
Well, it's all been changed over the last 20, 30 years, so now it's considered North America. But to me, it's Central America.
I was always taught it was part of North America, but then maybe
Okay,
I
well,
missed
yeah.
it. But again, it's like I have a feeling like I
But in
vaguely
school, they teach, now they teach kids that there's no such thing as that a man can get pregnant and a woman, can be a father. So,
well, here's the thing that upsets me. This is the thing that upsets me is that you have people who call themselves conservative, and they do things like when a husband's wife is pregnant, he'll say something like "we're pregnant," you
mm-hmm.
know? And that to me is gay. That's just
Gay
and
as shit.
and it's just feeding into the nonsense, and all this stuff about like um, men going to baby showers and men getting their nether regions shaved and
Oh, very gay.
worrying
Very
worrying
gay.
about their hair and their
Right.
face and then what's the other one that I was going to say? Um, oh, just as the whole metrosexual thing. We don't call it metrosexual, but it really still is around.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's all this effeminization of men and
That's what it is. It's feminization of the male. Yeah.
and the women have become where they were masculinized a lot earlier than we were feminized, but they were the feminist movement. They should have called it the masculinist movement because that's what it was.
Hey, I have to get a glass of water so I can take my meds. Would you mind a 30-second clip?
Not at all. Not at
All right.
all.
So I'll be right back, folks. Thanks for watching the show. I'll be right back. And we're back. We're back. All right, very good. So we're speaking with Spring and Fialta, and the invite link is posted if anybody would like to hop on the show as well. I'll put it up again. The movie Caveman, I saw that movie too. Quest for Fire, I never saw that. Clan of the Cave Bear, I never saw that either.
I tried to read that book, and I didn't realize that it was bears talking to each other, and it was like,
oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I don't know if that was that one. There was so I watched. Did you ever read the book Watership Down?
No, I remember the advertising or whatever, the book, but
So the book was basically rabbits, and it took them like 100 pages to figure out how to cross a stream so they could rescue somebody. Okay. And that was tolerable. And then that same author did something, and I didn't realize it, but I thought it was like humans, but it was actually bears that were trying to talk to each other and do things. And of course, it would take them like 200 pages to do something. Oh God, it was trying to be realistic, but it was horrible. But I think was Clan of the Cave Bear? Did it have like Daryl Hannah in it?
Yeah, and that other guy who played Hellboy, I think he was in that.
Oh, that guy. Okay, yeah.
Or that other film, I don't remember, but I've never seen those films. Yeah. What is this? Politician steeple, a body language, sign, social character, a feeling and control. Use. Okay, there you go.
Your Skeletor guy, I guess, has got the steeple thing going.
Right, I guess. Right. Well, that schmuck in California, Gavin Newsom, he stands like that. He imitates Warren Beatty, and he projects that image of confidence, authority, and being controlled. But the guy is an absolute putz. What a loser. But if he runs for president, Californians will vote for him. It's just unbelievable.
Well,
People
I
like
have
Mark Hamill and Hollywood fanatics, they'll vote for him.
a lot of the same people have moved to Texas and Idaho and places like that. So.
Yeah.
I had a bad take on something. I don't know what it was, whether it was my review of the movie Caveman or Quest for Fire, or whether it was something I said. So.
Well, I remember Caveman. That was with the Ringo Starr. That was like 1980, around then. And I don't remember anything about the movie. But
Quest for Fire was one of those things that was mostly trying to be like realistic, but it had a couple of scenes that were kind of funny. There was this thing where this guy the whole idea was to go someplace where they had fire and then bring it back. But in doing so, right when he gets to at the very end of the movie, he trips and he falls in the lake and it goes out. So you think, oh my God, that whole trip was worthless. But along the way, he had figured out how to use flint to start a fire, which was more important than just keeping this fire going. Right.
Okay.
And so then they started the fire again. But it was the way it fell in the water was kind of hilarious. I mean, it was kind of sad and funny at the same time. And they had a few scenes like that. They had this one. There was like a fertility cult. There was a tribe that valued women that were really huge. It's like all the women really fat. And that was like a good thing. Like they had so much extra stuff they could keep their women really fat. So that was like, all these other guys were really skinny, right? Because they're from these tribes that are basically going from hand to mouth. And so that was kind of an interesting scene.
Okay, I should watch that movie. That's Ron Perlman and Ray Dawn Chong.
Yeah, and she's hot, so that's
always... and that's 1981. And then that other movie, let me look right here, Clan of the Cave Bear, 1986. That's Daryl Hannah, and that's a young Cro-Magnon woman is raised by Neanderthals. That's not much of a description, but I should watch that one too. That got a much lower rating than the first one.
Okay, so the book that I was trying to read is called Shardik.
Okay.
And basically, I think that was about a bunch of bears. They were trying to do something. And because they didn't have language, they took forever to figure things out. So I think
I'm looking at the clip here on the of the Clan of the Cave Bears, and you got this sexy Daryl Hannah running around in a nightie kind of thing. Women
sort of like
100 million years ago didn't look like that. They didn't have shaved, smooth, sexy legs and stylish blonde hair from the salon and perfect teeth.
But we had that documentary a million years BC with Raquel Welch.
That's correct. So I guess they did look like that. All right. Amazing.
Well, here's the interesting thing. We think of as Neanderthals as being like these, looking like Herman Munster, right? Even whether they're men or women. But evidently, our proto-humans, they bred with them, right?
Correct.
Because we have some Neanderthal DNA.
Sure.
So our women might not have been much more attractive than their women. So
have you ever done a DNA test for that stuff?
I haven't. My nephew did. So I kind of sort of know what mine's going to be because I'm related, not the same. Right. I think what I've always on my mom's side, I'm all Italian, and on my father's side, I believe they're all Irish or some part English. But my nephew, whose mother is all English, she's just pure English, has got some Arab in him. And I think the reason is because my grandparents were they weren't from the very southern part of Italy, like the Sicily or anything like that, but they were from like the center, like around Rome. And I think the Moors went through there.
The Moops, right?
The Moops. And I might have some Moop blood in me.
You might, right?
So that's why I'm a real big supporter of the Palestinians.
Well, it only costs $100 to $200 to get a DNA test, and you might be 5% Neanderthal,
Well, I think if you're Western European, you're going to have more Neanderthal than if you're African or Asian.
Hmm.
I think the Asians have, what's the other group? The Denisovians or
Denisovan, yeah.
yeah, I think they have more Denisovan
Hmm.
DNA, and then the Africans have neither. So they're more purebred humans, or like what do you call it, Homo sapien, than the rest of us are.
Hmm.
Oh, Idi Amin wanted to be in the villages. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. He went to Saudi Arabia, if I remember. They took him in. When he left Uganda, I think Saudi Arabia accepted him. I think. Yeah.
That was a good movie. What was it called? The Last King of Scotland?
Oh, that was very good. I like that.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good performance by I forgot the guy's name. The
Forrester? His name Forrester or something?
Yeah, what the hell was his name?
I think his last name was Forrest or Forrester. I can't remember his first name.
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker. That's it.
Forrest Whitaker. Yeah, that's it.
It's from very excellent performance of Idi Amin. Yeah, I could feel the terror and the frightening behavior of him from his performance. It was exceptionally good. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, there was the scene near the end where there was an excruciatingly beautiful black woman that sidled up to the reporter guy, and I think they did the dirty, and then at that point he didn't know if he was going to be killed because
right
he wasn't supposed to have sex with any of those women, but
right
he was able to get on a plane just in time.
Right.
But man, was she gorgeous! Oh wow, it's like I could never. I mean, how could any guy resist?
Exactly. Right. Blaine, did you see Bulworth with Warren Beatty? I found it hilarious. Yeah, I enjoyed that movie. Yeah, it had some very good scenes, and when he was dressed up in the hip hop thing, and the police recognize who he is, and he goes into a rap. Yeah, it was very good. I mean, it was good. Yeah.
So, Morty, did you ever see Shampoo? Because I watched that once, and I really wasn't impressed.
Yeah, that goes back to the 70s. I don't remember much about it at all.
Because I thought he was great in Heavens Can Wait. I thought that was a great movie. But I didn't think much of Shampoo. So,
I never saw the whole Heavens Can Wait, just bits and pieces. I should look at that movie.
I think it has Diane Cannon in it. She's always good, and she's also gorgeous, right?
Diane Cannon?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was married to, or
Cary
maybe,
Grant.
yeah. And I went to school with her daughter.
Oh, really?
Her daughter was gorgeous. Yeah.
Heaven Can Wait, 1978. Elaine May, Warren Beatty. Oh no, that was the writer. Warren Beatty, James Mason, and Julie Christie.
Oh, Julie Christie was
Charles Grodin and Diane Cannon.
Okay.
Jack
Yeah.
Warden.
Well, that's not
I
a
should
bad
watch this film. I'm gonna save it. Yeah.
My HOA fee started at like 200, and now it's up to 3 something, almost 400 now. So, but that's actually good, because the opposite is you have it stay at 200, and then at some point you have to have a special assessment where you have to pay like $20,000 to fix roofs or something, right?
Heaven Can Wait is free on Pluto TV. So
Yeah,
I'm saving that right now.
I highly recommend it. It's fun. It's got some good characters, and I think Diane Cannon is the wife of his wife, who they never really liked each other, and then Julie Christie is like, maybe she's like the public relations person for the football team, and that's the woman he ultimately falls in love with.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a love triangle there.
All right, that's good. That's very good. I will watch that next. We're all related. Morty and Big Mike share DNA. Well, we have the same chromosomes. Yeah.
You have the same, what do you call it, genitalia.
Well, Blaine, the parallax view was pretty bad. I liked the parallax view.
I like that too.
Yeah, it was suspenseful, a good suspense film. Yeah, and not a a conspiracy story kind of theme, but it was very well. I thought it was well done.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously it was trying to play off the whole JFK thing. But
Well, the RFK, I think it was. It
was
played
it?
off of, yeah, but it was good. Bird, I never saw Bird with Forrest Whitaker. Yeah.
Was that a really Bird? Oh, so was that the where he played the famous jazz trumpetist?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, that Forrest Whitaker was in. Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but he played a guy who knew kung fu or something or karate. He was like the neighborhood hero.
Oh, really? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it was an interesting title.
Doesn't sound familiar at all. Let's take a look. Is that an older film or pretty recent or
It'd be like 1990s-ish.
around the 90s? Let's take a look. Well, I don't know what the story would be, but I mean the title, but so. Yeah.
No, I'm on there myself right now. It had dog in the name. I don't know.
Dragon Hunters?
I think. No.
Wow, he's got a lot of
Finding
movies.
Steve.
Wow. Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai?
That's it. He was
1999.
he was a modern day
Ghost Dog,
samurai.
Way of the Samurai. And what's that story?
That's it. Yeah.
An African American mafia hitman who models himself after the samurai of old finds himself targeted for death by the mob.
Oh, that reminds me of a really interesting movie. It doesn't get great reviews, but it's like 1,000 Ways to Die in Denver, or was it How to Be in Denver When You're Dead?
Oh, I don't know what that is.
And it was like these three guys that had been assigned by the mob to do something, and they failed. And so because they had failed, the mob was going to kill them. And they all had three different strategies of how to survive.
Yeah, Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. That's
What to do in Denver when you're dead.
Well, it's called Things to Do in Denver
Yeah,
When You're
and
Dead.
that was a fun
1995.
one guy
Christopher Walken, Andy
yeah.
Garcia, Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, that was a great movie. And
wow, never heard of it. That I remember.
yeah,
that I know
Christopher
of.
Walken was the guy that was wanting to get. Yeah. But Andy Garcia played this cocky guy who, instead of trying to hide, just was always just walking around in public and everything. That was the way he thought he could survive. That they couldn't kill him if he was always in public. And there was another guy who basically buried himself in some obscure warehouse, hoping they'd never find him there. And there was a third guy that was trying to run away or always on the move or something like that. So it was interesting to see how they all tried to stay alive. They knew it wasn't their fault. Something bad happened, but they knew that they were going to be blamed for it. So it was interesting. It was a fun movie. And I was living in Colorado at the time, so that was cool.
Okay, breaking news. RZA released a new album with DJ Scratch, Saturday Afternoon Kung Fu Theater. I recommend it. I'm going to buy it tomorrow. Right. Amazing. So you're up late. Are you working tomorrow?
No, I've like every other Friday I get off. Get what they call a 980 schedule.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I drank too much today. I don't know. I had normally have like 1 or 2 shots of whiskey, but I had 4 today. So I got the sugar thing going right now.
Oh, I see. Right.
RZA. Oh, so the Wu
Oh, we have
Tang
someone
Clan. I remember them
backstage.
from the.
Shot in the Dark was backstage. I didn't see him. I just noticed his private chat. If you're out there, Shot, come on back. I'm sorry, I didn't see you on the screen there backstage. Okay, yeah.
It's like 3:30 where he is, or 2:30 or something. My God.
Must be 2:30. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen him around in a while.
Yeah.
I poke my
yeah.
head in every once. I haven't commented in a while, but I poked my head in to see what's
Right.
going on.
Poke it in and get it the hell out of there real fast, because you don't want to get involved in the hate and lies. Well, that's the
No, I
other
mean,
channels.
I tried to listen to a few of those other channels. The one, what was the one? There's the guy, what is it, Brando or something like that?
Young Brando.
Yeah, and it was. I commented a few, but he's like a really high end,
Yeah,
So-
he is not part of the lunatic, mental cases channels. He's. I think he's. Well, I would say I find him more on my level of trying to avoid dealing with those people, and just he does a better job at staying out of it completely.
But the thing that was, I mean, the kind of watches he's looking at are like 30,000 and above. So I don't really like. I commented there was a bracelet that looked sort of like the bullet bracelet that's on some of the Breitlings, and he just tore me a new one because
Oh, really?
it wasn't a bamboo bracelet. It was a bullet bracelet, and they're totally different. It's like, for a novice like me, they look kind of similar. So,
What the hell is a bamboo bracelet?
well, can you picture in your mind the bullet bracelet that's in the Breitlings, the newer Breitlings?
You mean like the link design?
The way the bracelet goes, they're like lots of like cylinders or half cylinders.
Oh, I see. Okay,
all
yeah.
around them. So the bamboo one is it's a little bit more refined, classical.
So nothing like this.
Not like that. That's more the Jubilee, but
More like
it's getting there. That's getting there. But it would like those pieces on the end would be the same width as the pieces in the middle.
It's like the beads of rice. They call it.
No, it's not quite like it's not the beads of rice. But anyway, I don't know the Breitling models they're on, but
Right.
But anyway, the idea that I could not see the difference because I don't live at that atmosphere level, right? At that altitude. So, because it looks like what he does is he goes through catalogs of watches that are being sold at auction. So you're talking. No one's going to put a watch on auction unless they're going to get like 50 or 60,000 for it, right? So. Mac Lobster. Well, that's like the watch that what's his name? We just mentioned his name. The guy with the cowbells. That he put the watch up his butt to save it from being stolen or whatever, right?
What?
Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah. The Bruce Willis character.
Well, wasn't
that was the Christopher Walken character.
Yeah, Christopher Walken, yeah.
Right.
So, rouleau. Does that get roulette? Is that like a roulette? Yeah. Anyway. So.
Here it is. Rouleau bracelet. That's not a good picture. Let's see if I can find. Oh, I see what it is. I see. It's on the 2020 Breitling Chronomat.
Yeah, the Chronomat. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what it is. You like that design?
I liked it. I mean, I thought that was unique, and And again, it wasn't so much that I said I liked it or not, but that I said it looked like he had this much older watch that had what he called a bamboo style bracelet.
I
And
see.
I said, "Oh, that looks like the Breitling one." And he said, "Oh, no, no." I mean, he didn't tear me a new one in the sense he started yelling at me with four-letter words or whatever. It was just that he just was obviously upset that I had compared the two.
They also call this a bullet bracelet, the rouleau.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard. I didn't hear the
Yeah.
French word.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I mean, if I had a lot of, I mean, I have some, but I don't have huge amounts of what do you call it? Money that you can spend any way you want.
Right. Right.
I would buy things just because they were unique and they're uniquely beautiful to me. So I would probably get a Breitling, and it would probably have that bracelet.
Really. Okay.
It'd be like, to me, it'd be a twofer. I'd have a Breitling, which I consider to be a nice, a very good watch manufacturer. And I mean, there are things I don't like about Breitling, and there are certain watches that make no sense to me. I think Breitling and also IWC have dive watches that don't have a real bezel on them,
Mm-hmm.
which is stupid. I mean, if I'm going to pretend to be a diver, I want it to at least pretend like it works, right?
Right. It's like
Um,
people who buy these gold Rolexes and they're pretending that they're actually a gentleman with class, But
I was at Feldmar's, and they had the JLC diver, and
Right.
it was like 9,000, and I thought, well, that sounds pretty good for a JLC, right? And then it turns out it's the version. They have what they call a compressor diver, right, where they have the
Right.
bezel as internal. But the lower model, the crown that controls the bezel, it's not a locking crown. So if you think about it, you could just be walking around, and that crown could move around, and then your bezel moves, right?
That's no good. Yeah.
Which is exactly what you don't want if you're going underwater and you're moving your arms about and you're swimming and all that stuff, right? So it's a total fake. You have to pay like 12 or 13 to get one of theirs that has the screw down crown,
Right.
and that's what you want if you're gonna at least pretend it's a dive watch, even if you're not gonna actually go and dive with it.
Right.
But so that's what I thought. Dive watch. If I'm gonna, I don't even. I think I have one. I don't even have a dive watch. I thought I was buying a dive watch when I got a Seiko for my 30-year gift from my company, but it turned out it was just a dual time watch. The bezel is one of those 24-hour bezels. It's not a 15, 30, 60-minute bezel.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a dive watch yet, but if I get a dive watch, it's going to be a real dive watch. It's going to have dive capabilities, even if I never take it underwater. I was going to get the Sea Battalion from Mula Glashuta or something like that.
Right. Wow. Well, very good.
Well, I think I'm going to hit the hay now.
Yeah, I'm getting tired now. Hey, I can't believe it. I've been on a 2-hour show. Unbelievable.
Didn't you have a couple like 5 or 6 hour shows?
Yeah, just recently, yeah. I didn't think today was a 2-hour show. It felt like an hour, but
That was crazy.
wow. It's 12:45 about, so it's a good time to wrap it up and go to bed. So
So it was great chatting with you again, as
yeah,
always.
thank you. Thank you very much, and enjoy your day off. And remember that bowl of soup in front of you is not really there.
Exactly. I just taste it and smell it, and touch it, but I don't actually. It's not there. Exactly.
Right.
Did you ever see The Matrix?
I saw The Matrix 3 times, each with different people, and they all raved about it. After the third time, I still didn't get it at all.
But there's the scene where they got the Oracle, the old black woman.
I don't remember anything about it.
Oh, there's a scene where they finally meet the Oracle, and she's this old black woman, and there's this young Asian kid, and And the famous line from the movie is, "There is no spoon." He has a spoon in his hand, but it's like there is no spoon, because they're like all in a virtual reality, right? So yeah,
There was that in The Sopranos. Did you watch The Sopranos?
I've seen some scenes from it. A few episodes.
There's an episode where he's in a clinic, a hospital or clinic or something like that, as a patient, residential place, and Hal Holbrook is there too.
Oh, wow.
And he's dying he has terminal cancer, and he was a rocket scientist in his career.
Okay.
So they're all in one of the rooms there. There's a rapper who's there for some reason, Tony Soprano, and Paulie, who's hanging out with Tony, and the Hal Holbrook character, who's, he's got terminal cancer, but he's still in good shape for now. So they're watching a boxing match on TV, and the guy's some kind of scientist genius. So he says to Tony, he goes, well, they're not really punching each other at all. And Christopher goes, what are you talking about? They're punching the hell out of each other. He goes, well, not really. And then he explains some physics theory of particles and molecules and stuff. I forgot what it was, but
okay, yeah,
it made sense when he explained it. I understood what he was getting at. But so it ended with Paulie saying, well, just shut the fuck up and fix the TV reception. Fix that antenna. Hey, fuck you and your theory. Fix the antenna.
Yeah, exactly.
He goes, oh, okay, I could do that. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, yeah, I know what he's going to play. Like, it's like you never actually ever touch the table, because it's like the electrons that are at the tip of your finger are repelled by the electrons on the top of your table. So it's like if you ever got like two positively charged magnets, you know how they resist each other. It's the same kind of thing, but it's so subtle that you think you're touching it, when in fact you're actually probably, your fingers are nanometers above the surface.
Yeah, I get it.
Or something like that. So I mean, it's like one of those things. Well, technically, but come on, join the real world for the rest of us.
If you when you have a few minutes, just go to YouTube and put in The Sopranos, Hal Holbrook. And,
okay, that sounds good.
And that clip will show up, I'm sure.
Because the only ones that are recommended to me are the best 20 killings in Sopranos.
Yeah. That's that are But just put in The Sopranos, Hal Holbrook, and you'll find that clip. You'll like it.
Okay, well, good night.
Great. Okay, thanks very much. I'll see you. Good night. Wow, okay. Very nice. In fact, I'm going to do that right now just to see if it shows up. Because, yeah, there it is. It shows up. All right. That exact clip I was talking about. 2 minutes, 6-second clip. That's it. All right. Well, I think that'll do it. 8 viewers. The Vulture report for tonight, stealing everybody's super chats, is 0. Okay, so we're killing it here again. Thank you all very much for watching the show, the egg salad content, and thank you, Spring, for the panel time, and see you next time. Good night.